तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः. Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Vijnani state, after various experiences of God, having experienced God in various ways, when he comes to the normal consciousness, he lives with love of God and with the devotee circle. Love of God, because to the supreme reality, the ultimate reality of the absolute impersonal existence, the impersonal God, the absolute existence, normal humans who are within the time and space realm cannot reach. An object which is beyond time and space, neither mind can conceive, nor intellect can discern. To that level, normal, but they can conceive of a personal God and love. So, the absolute impersonal manifests as personal for the sake of devotees, and the realized soul depicts or exemplifies or shows the path how to love without any expectations, without any demands, and be devoted, and in and through all the activities of life, how to realize. He sees the impersonal absolute manifested as personal God for the sake of the ordinary people, and pull them up to the ultimate realization. God comes down to human level of understanding, then even if it is needed, to the physical level of having taken human birth, like Sri Ramakrishna himself, and so many manifestations in human form, Rama, Krishna, Buddha, so many ways he manifests, even at physical level, to take Jitva. But the impersonal God is conceivable by mind. Whatever be our understanding of God, we have an understanding of God, whom I think of a person with a form as far as possible, at least his existence, to which I can love. I have loved. I have loved. I know what is love. I know what is a personal being, though I might not have seen. But I understand what is that personality, personal God, with all perfections. So I am able to love, though I have not seen. And this love lifts me to the personal God, makes me have the vision of God. And getting slowly absorbed in, I go to the impersonal also. So the one who has realized God and known God in various aspects to the ultimate form of his physical existence also, he, with all his enlightenment, lives with all other devotees to make that personal God an object of love. It is God keeping a ego of knowledge, ego of devotion, the knowledge to make him understand God comes down, and love to exemplify how to love it. So God keeps that ego in an enlightened soul to make the others reach him. So here the I about the jnani is being told. Even after the attainment of knowledge, this I consciousness comes up. Nobody knows from where. You dream of a tiger, then you awake, your heart keeps on palpitating. All our sufferings is due to this I, and the cow's example he gives. Once Rama asked Hanuman, "How do you look upon me?" Hanuman replied, "O Rama, as long as I have the feeling of I see that thou art the whole and I am part. Thou art the master, I am the servant. But when, O Rama, I have knowledge of the truth, then I realize that thou art I am thou. Deha buddhya tudasoham, jiva buddhya tvadamshakaha, atma buddhya tvamevaham, iti me nischayamatihi." The Rama asks Hanuman, "How do you look upon me?" When I am conscious of my body, Deha Buddhya, Tudasoham, I look upon as my master. Because when I see I being identified with physical body, then the moment I identify with physical body, I am within the time and space, I am within the relative existence. I can conceive you as my master because I have a body. Deha buddhi. When I am Deha buddhi, I cannot conceive the absolute. I have to be consume to conceive the absolute. I must be spiritual entity with physical body, just like with physical body in the waking state. I cannot have a dream state. I have to leave this body. I have to become a sukshma sharira to enter into dream state. I must be karana sharira in deep sleep. I have only karana sharira. When I identify only with karana sharira, I am in deep sleep. Karana sharira, along with it, when I include the subtle body, I am in dream state. When I include the physical body also, I am in waking state. Similarly, to change the state, I must identify with different things. When I don't identify with anything, then I will be spirit and I can understand the spirit, the pure spiritual existence, God, the absolute, the God impersonal I can. But when I am with the body, Deha Bhava, then I can see within the time and space somebody governing all this in a perfect way, and that I conceive. You are the master, I am the servant. And when Deha Buddhi, Jiva Buddhi, when I am spiritually awakened, the moment I am spiritually awakened, I am physically awake and spiritually sleeping. When spiritually awakened, first thing I know is I am not this physical body. It is as good as I am in dream state, but I am beyond dream state, on the other side, I have stretched. That is something like being in dream state, fully awake. Only physical body I am missing. I am spiritually awakened. I have settled in the um, causal body as if in dream, but I am awake. So I am Jivatma, independent of physical body, who is dwelling in this body, who has come from the other body to this, and who is going to leave this body and go. This Jivatma, the indwelling Jivatma, the individual self. When I am spiritually awakened, I go from Deha Bhava to Jiva Bhava, from the physical bodily awareness. And once I go spiritually awakened, I can never more identify with the physical body. I am Jivatman, transmigratory soul, moving from one body to another body. When I am in that awareness, when I am not aware of the body, physical body, and all other things are there in my existence, then I see God. I am part of Him. I am part of Him. Just like a tree and a leaf, tree and a branch. I am part and parcel, inseparable from God. When I am Devabhava, physical body, I am separate from God. He is master and I am servant. When I go to the Jivatma Bhava, the individual soul who dwells in this body and goes from one body to another body, the transmigratory soul, Jiva Bhava, when I am spiritually awakened only, I go to Jiva Bhava. When I am in Jiva Bhava, I understand, I realize, I see, I experience that I am a part of your whole. And when I move to the spiritual being, the pure spirit, Atma Tattva, independent of even subtle bodies and causal body, I go beyond. Then I see I am pure spirit, spiritual existence of mind, independent of all the three bodies. Then I and you are one. So here we see we move from the Deha Bhava to Jiva Bhava, from Jiva Bhava to Atma Bhava. As my identification changes, my realization changes. With identity with the body makes me understand He is Lord, I am His servant. Because this is a kind of realization. And having realized the Supreme in the as Chaitanya, I am coming down to the bodily level. I see He is governing the whole universe, all lives. I am also a life in this universe. When the moment I identify with the physical body, maybe I am realized soul, but I have the body now. I am still residing in the body as Jivan Mukta. Now, Hanuman is Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta, when he is in physical body, he says, You are the master. And because he is governing the whole body, bodily existence of all jivas and the physical world. I am in the physical world as body, though I am a realized soul. So the identification with the body makes him immediately come down to the level, You are master, I am in. But sometimes I forget my body in divine love and I identify with the subtle body and causal body. Physical body, but I am witness of all the three being the enlightened soul. So I am independent of all the three bodies. Now when I am aware of the subtle and causal, from Deva Bhava I move to the Jiva Bhava. In Jiva Bhava I see I am a part of your existence. Still deeper when I go to my pure spiritual existence, I see I and you are one. So this one thing to remember is we move as spiritual unfoldment takes place. I move from Deha Bhava to Jiva Bhava to Atma Bhava. As I move on, my experience of God goes on changing. Hmm. How do you look upon me? O Rama, as long as I have the feeling of I see that thou art the whole. Rama, as long as I have the feeling of I see that thou art the whole and I am the part. Thou art the master and I am the servant. Thou art the whole, I am part is the Jiva Bhava. Hmm. Thou art master, I am thy servant is Deha Bhava. And but when Rama, I have the knowledge of truth, that is, I am Atman. Then I realize thou art I am thou. There is no difference. I and you. Duality dissolves with the Atma Jnana. The relationship of master and servant is the proper one. Since this I must remain, let that rascal be God's servant. For all other jivas, we are all unenlightened souls in this world. We have to follow the steps of the enlightened one to get that enlightenment. So the enlightened one coming down, the Vijnani coming down to normal consciousness, adopts the devotee's attitude. God is master, I am servant. So we all follow that and make ourselves awake to the divine and start loving it. And let that I be the servant of the Lord. I and mine, these constitute ignorance. My house, my wealth, my learning, my possession. The attitude that prompts one to say such things comes from ignorance. On the contrary, the attitude born of knowledge, O God, thou art the master, all these belong to thee. House, family, children, attendants, friends are thine. So, knowledge is we move from the one to the whole. From microcosm, my awareness expands to macrocosm. Spirituality is expansion of heart, expansion of mind, and expansion of consciousness. I am conscious. I am conscious of my family, my earnings, my enjoyments, then I am limited. I become small. As expansion expands, I am the aware of the whole world. I am aware of the society in which I live. I am aware of the whole humanity. I am aware of the all beings. I am aware of the whole universe. How expansion little by little from myself to my family, from my family to the society in which I live, to the nation, to the global level, all humanity, all beings, the whole universe. So from I being microcosm, I move to the macrocosm. This, as I grow, as I expand myself, I see all this belongs to Lord. I also belong to Lord. Everything is Lord's. This awareness is what Thakur is telling, that ignorance has gone and light has come. Darkness has gone. Darkness of I, mine, and for me has gone away, and you, yours, and for you remains. It is knowledge. I may constitute ignorance. On contrary, the attitude born of knowledge is, O God, thou art the master, and all these belong to thee. One should constantly remember death. Nothing will survive death. Just like every day nature is giving us that experience of separating from all things, all relatives, all friends, even our own people whom I call mine intimately, like children born of me. A mother is there, child as if inseparable from the child forever. She cannot think of a small child hmm, independent of her. Even it can live, she cannot think. Such a small baby, the moment we sleep, we are totally separated and unaware of that baby also. Helpless baby, if mother lives and goes, it cannot survive in this world. That baby also, mother forgets the moment she enters into sleep. Sleep is temporary death, as if temporary separation from the bodily existence is sleep, permanent separation is death. It is a temporary experience of death. When I separate from my body, all that is concerned with body, I forget. The world, entire world goes away with the bodily awareness. The moment I sleep, this world is not at all there. Neither body and all others, including children, property, everything is belongs to this world. And my body also belongs to this world, this nature. I separate from the entire nature at the physical level. I enter into dream state, the subtle creation, another aspect of nature. Then I go to the causal level of deep sleep and then leave all aspects of nature and expand in the universal consciousness every day that I sleep. How I withdraw, how I separate, and this death experience Mother Nature is giving to remind you every day that nothing belongs to you here. Nobody is yours. You have come alone, you have to return alone. Be aware. Do all your duties. Love everything. Take care of everything. Make everything grow, flourish, because it belongs to God. It doesn't belong to you. One day you have to part from all and go back to God, whom you are loving and seeing in every object, in every jiva. So, one should constantly remember that nothing will survive death. We are born into this world to perform our certain duties, to perform certain duties, like the people who come from the countryside to Calcutta on business. If a visitor goes to a rich man's garden, the superintendent says to him, "This is our garden, this is our lake," and so forth. But the superintendent is dismissed for some misdeed. He cannot carry even his mango wood chest. He sends it secretly by the gatekeeper. Allah, how much we are in ignorance, how much we are in delusion, thinking that all this belongs to me. When death comes, nothing goes. Once a Buddha, Buddha, goes to a village, and in that village he sees there is a very rich man who calls him for food. He has 200, 300 monks with him moving. He doesn't want to feed anyone. He is the richest person in the village. He wants to feed only Buddha. And Buddha, anybody's they invite, Buddha with the whole group they invite, and for food. And if they don't have the means, they will beg and collect from all the houses and see that everyone, Buddha and all his followers, get the food. But here he doesn't want to spend. He has much more than to feed all for years to come. Still, he feels, oh, why should I feed them? He is so conjuice that he doesn't want to give it, spend his money, but he wants to take the credit and benefit from by serving Buddha. And Buddha has come to his house, all people will praise, and this he wants, but he doesn't want to spend. One person's food he is ready to give for Buddha. So when Buddha goes there, uh, then he asks that person, Buddha says to him, I will give, I have a needle, please keep this needle. Buddha gives the needle to him and says, keep this needle with you. I will come in next birth and take from you. And that person, the landlord, receives it. But he says, how will I be meeting you in next birth? And how will I have this needle for the next birth? I don't know where I am going to born. I cannot carry this with me anywhere. Then Buddha says to him, you are keeping so many things now. With what for are you keeping? You are already becoming old and you have to go now. If you are not going to take it all this, what for you are keeping all this? If you cannot carry a needle of mine to next birth, how can you carry all this to next birth? Immediately the knowledge flashes in him. It is Buddha saying, an enlightened soul is telling to an ignorant person. And then he sees, oh, what for am I preserving all this? Whom for am I doing all this? Immediately he calls everyone and tells, serve the poor people in the village. Serve all the sadhus who have come. Give away, give away. So this ignorance removing, I might be confusing with the saint, it is Buddha or some other saint, but the story is an important thing for us, that we don't carry anything from while going. With death, all things get dissociated. All people, whom I loved, who love me, what I hold on, what I possess, and what status I have acquired, all the certificates and praises that I got, everything will be left behind. My soul alone with the vasanas and karmic load, I'll be moving to my next destination where I can work out my karmas. I am alone. I come alone. I live alone, but I am covered with a delusion. All these are mine. All these things are mine. All these people are mine. A delusion is created because of the ego and ignorance, and that adds to my karma, and it keeps me moving in the cycle of this karmic cycle. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, because the ignorance, and not that things must go away from you, not that you should not possess, but the ignorance must go away, that all these things are mine. I must understand all this belongs to Lord and nothing belongs to me. This we see that all this one essence of Sri Ramakrishna's telling is that I have remove that veil of ignorance covering your soul, veil of ignorance covering your eyes. Try to see the divine. Try to serve the Lord in various ways. Whatever you do, offer it to God. We will continue. Om Niranjana निरञ्जनं नित्यमनन्तरूपम् भक्तानुकम्पा धृतविग्रहं वै ईशावतारं परमेशमीड्यं तं रामकृष्णं शिरसा नमामः।